Yeah, I can see it.
There it is. There it is. Got it moved?
Yeah, we've covered it.
There you go. Come on, let's move. Moving. Come on. Right on. Go ahead. Stay. You got it. Come on, Bobby. Bobby, come on.
Hey, Charlie.
Excuse me, sir.
Then we go to Cusses, man.
Good fight.
What?
This case of I lost the husband, and we're told the police made a circus of this. I think it's a shame. 2 hours.
That's got the clear fight. Push your under.
Where's Bruno's candy store, Crouch?
I have no idea.
One of these places was his, right?
I think.
The hit on Angelo Bruno would be a success, especially to those who are involved in the conspiracy. That includes Johnny Keys Simone, Frank the Barracuda Sindone, Antonio Tony Bananas Caponigro, Alfredo Salerno, and possibly more. According to former Philadelphia crime underboss Philip Crazy Phil Leonetti's, he wrote a book called Mafia Prince, and he specifically labeled Antonio Tony Bananas Caponigro to be the shooter behind Angelo Bruno's demise. Also, his co-author Scott Bernstein also believed Antonio Bananas was the shooter. And from our own exclusive archives, George Anastasia was not surprised to see will be the man to pull the trigger against his own boss, Angelo Bruno. Gotcha. And then I keep hearing, because I don't hear disputes about Antonio Bananas Caponigro being his executioner, because I think Philip Leonetti said that in Mafia Prince, the fall of La Cosa Nostra. But I'm just curious, like, has there ever been like case closes for some of these members, or is always?
I mean, what happened was, I think Caponigro, in fact, he might have even been the shooter that night. Or some people say he was the actual gunman with the shotgun. What happened in the aftermath of the Bruno murder was those guys turned up dead. Caponigro turned up dead. Salerno turned up dead. Frankie Sindone turned up dead. So, you know, the Mafia Commission was carrying out street level justice. You know, killing a boss was a major offense, and there always was a price to pay. And it wasn't, if you think about it, what it was the hierarchy of organized crime looking out for one another and watching their back. You know, you don't want to have a boss killed and the guys that do will walk away, because you may be the next boss that's killed. So there had to be retribution, and that certainly happened quickly in the Bruno assassination. Those guys all turned up dead, with the exception of John Stamper, who went on the run and later surfaced as
The demise of Angelo Bruno was a success for Caponigro, Salerno, Sindone, and Simone. However, the outcome would not go in their favor. The downfall. March 22nd, 1980. The next day, Simone was reported to visit John Stamper in the hospital. The hospital staff did not report to what words the men exchanged, since it was in Italian. However, many historians and criminal world observers assumed that Simone warned Stamper to stay out of sight in case of any relations of the demise of Bruno. A week later, Caponigro sent Simone and Sindone to meet with the commission on his behalf. During the meeting, the commission wanted Caponigro to meet with them in person. Caponigro would assume that he would be crowned to be the new boss of the Philadelphia crime family, and that his supporters were not of any danger. He was wrong. He thought he received permission from the Genovese front boss, Frank Funzi Thierry. However, Thierry was not the boss, as Caponigro and the media believed it was. Vincent the Chin Gigante was the real boss. This maneuver was used to confuse law enforcement and any other mafia conspirators. The demise. April 18, 1980. Caponigro and his brother-in-law, Alfred Salerno, would agree to the meeting and would arrive to New York for the meeting. Caponigro was summoned to the basement of a triangular social club in Greenwich Village, Manhattan. In the meeting, there was a panel in a darkly lit room. There was Frank Funzi Thierry, Anthony Fat Tony Salerno, Luis Bobby Manna, and Vincent the Chin Gigante inside an empty club. Double-crossed. As Caponigro believed he was going to be crowned the new boss, he looked at Frank Funzi Thierry and he met with Vincent the Chin Gigante. Vincent the Chin Gigante had told Caponigro, "We're here to ask who gave you permission to whack out your boss, Angelo Bruno." Caponigro stumbled and was confused. He looked at Frank Funzi Thierry, and Thierry had looked at Caponigro very stone-faced. Caponigro had told the Chin, "Funzi told me the permission." Vincent the Chin Gigante's face looked puzzled. He asked Frank, "What is he talking about?" Frank Funzi Thierry had stated, "I told you to straighten out, not to kill him." And this is when Caponigro was shocked and knew that this was not looking good for him. He realized that he'd been double-crossed, just like he double-crossed Angelo Bruno, and now he knew his fate was in stake. Therefore, unbeknownst to Caponigro, in the darkly lit room, there were Genovese soldiers ready to take out Caponigro himself, as he knew he pleaded for his life, and unfortunately, this would be the last day Caponigro would see the light of day.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and check out more of our content. Feel free to give your feedback and suggestions on what we should do next in the comments. This is Infinite Lee Productions. We love ya.